A bombshell report from West Virginia Watch. Now, it's fascinating is this is a local news story to West Virginia, but I'm going to tell you this is one of the biggest stories in the nation right now. West Virginia Senate passes bill banning artificial dyes in food. Opponents say it's overreach. Cry more. Quote, this is probably the most important bill that we will vote on in our entire careers. Here, said Senator Laura Joachim Chapman, Republican of our Ohio. Okay. Our health is not for sale. Is that like Ohio County or something? The Senate overwhelmingly approved a bill banning synthetic dyes in food after Republican lawmakers stressed that it would make food healthier for West Virginians who have some of the worst health outcomes in the country. The measure, House Bill 2345, which already cleared the House, would prohibit the sale of any food with certain types of yellow, blue, green, and red dyes, including red 40, that helps give candy its cherry red hue. And I believe it's made from those little mites. Yeah, they have like an aluminum substance in them that is bright red, and they mush the little mites, and then it makes red, and you eat it. Then there's tartrazine, which is a yellow dye, which is made from coal tar.
Gross.
So basically, let me. Here we have bill status here. Can I see this? I want to read the actual text of it. We'll pull that up in a second, but I'll tell you why this is one of the most important things happening in the country right now. Let's say West Virginia is not the biggest market for any food product. But there is like 1 million something people live in the state. So how many boxes of cereal, perhaps? Let's say toaster pastry of some nondescript brand, and they've got blue, red, and yellow dyes in them because the sprinkles on their strawberry toaster pastry nondescript item. That company now can't sell in the state. They're going to say you can't sell those here. They've got a banned substance in them. This company is going to now have to do a cost benefit analysis where they say, how much will it cost for us to shift into a non-synthetic dye to use natural dyes like banana, carrots, or blueberries, which is, I believe, what Canada does. They don't use bananas. They might actually, something like that. In Canada, they use carrots and blueberries and raspberries and stuff for the various colors. And they might say, it's going to cost us $10 million to change production. Okay, how much money are we going to lose in West Virginia? We're going to lose $10 million. They're going to say, so we break even? But then in the following years, we make that money back? Okay, change to all natural dyes. This could have nationwide effects on all food production because one state did it. That's crazy. I also wonder what that means for us going to the grocery store in West Virginia because literally every food item has these chemicals in them. And
Is this
now
something you've been consciously avoiding?
Food dyes?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I got Pop-Tarts downstairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was about to say.
And they're delicious.
You ordered like about 1 billion of them.
1,000.
1,000.
1,000 Pop-Tarts. Come on, we got like 30 people who work here. Those things are going to be gone in 2 weeks. The brown sugar cinnamon is the best flavor.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, so good. But we do have s'mores and cookies. Whatever. We bought them because Julia, who skates here, she says they're illegal in Europe. So you can't get them. And we were like, what? So we had to buy them. Mm-hmm. So we had to buy a bunch. And then when they're back, we're going to make ice cream sandwiches out of Pop-Tarts. Listen, RFK Jr. eats cheeseburgers sometimes. Being healthy doesn't mean only eating carrots like a rabbit. I think this is one of the best things we have seen in the country, and I'm glad it's happening in West Virginia. Now, if only they would get rid of that crackpot Uber law where they ban independent contracting, maybe we could have something going good here. But I got to be honest, this is a grand slam from West Virginia, a grand slam.
Shout outs West Virginia. I'm curious, though, if they make like purple dyes, do they use the red and the blue, or do we need to watch out for the purple ones because they're still bad? Or
only the primary colors, I'm guessing. But
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if this is outdated information. I'm pretty sure that West Virginia is still the highest obesity rate in the country.
No way.
Yeah, in the entire country. I don't know why that is, but I doubt artificial dyes are to blame.
Dang, I thought that would have been Texas.
I think...
Isn't that true? Highest morbid obesity rate in the entire country?
I don't think so.
West Virginia?
Let's find out.
It might have been relatively recently.
My money's on Texas or another southern state.
I thought it was Texas.
Is it?
Yeah. Let's find out.
It's pretty high up on the list.
West Virginia has the highest
It
adult obesity rate in the U.S.
I knew it.
41%, followed by Louisiana and Oklahoma.
41%.
Hey,
Yep.
this might not be the principal reason, but it's a good start.
Yeah. And the tastes are changing, I think, especially among young people. I noticed that Sweet Green, this really trendy, like fast casual salad chain,
Sweet Green's
just
great.
introduced new French fries, which they fry in avocado oil instead of seed oils. And you're paying a premium, of course, but you're paying it so that you can follow the trend of against like not eating seed oils, which is like kind of, it's interesting like how the fashions of food change, because I remember like 5-10 years ago everyone was going vegan and everyone was drinking oat milk and eating all of these weird boutique vegan food brands which are hardly even food, and now the trend has shifted and young people want to drink bone broth and you know,
and
they don't wanna eat seed oils anymore.
And Spindrift.
Yeah, exactly.
Spindrift, sponsor us. You're
They're all,
great.
like, they're posting pictures of their dinner on a rustic cutting board. And they're really into like eating raw meat and things like that.
I don't know about raw meat.
Ingredients.
That's cool now.
Look at this. Spindrift. They know what's up. You know it's gonna be funny when it turns out like the guy who runs it is some like super woke crazy guy, but that's fine. You make a good product. Carbonated water, grapefruit juice, orange juice, lemon juice, and hibiscus for color. They didn't got to mush those little bugs and put them here to color. They put a little bit of flowers in there, and hibiscus tastes good. So we got the bill pulled up. This is amazing stuff. A bill to amend and reenact 1672 of the Code of West Virginia, 1931, as amended, relating to the prohibiting certain products that are injurious to health. Yo, check this out. Any drug or article of food shall be deemed to be adulterated within the meaning of this article, for the purpose of the article, in the case of drugs, if when sold under or by a name recognized by the U.S. Pharmacopoeia, is that how you pronounce it? Official at the time, it differs from standard strength, quality, purity laid down therein. Let's just say blah, blah, blah on the pharmaceuticals. They're basically saying, like, if we already think these things are bad, which includes heroin, blah, 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 we're including that. But let's scroll down, because it is actually, this bill is actually more pronounced than just dyes. If any inferior or cheaper substance or substances have been substituted wholly or in part for it, if any, I should start with the food or drink, right? In the case of food and drink, confectionery, or condiment, if any substance or substances have been mixed with it so as to lower or depreciate or injuriously affect its quality, strength, or purity, that's insane. That's crazy. If any inferior or cheaper substance or substances have been substituted wholly or in part of it. So this is going to get rid of this could actually get rid of certain seed oils. If they're using vegetable oils in place of dairy or something, one could theoretically argue. If any valuable or necessary constituent or ingredient has been wholly or in part abstracted from it, so like non-dairy cheese maybe. If it is an imitation of or is sold in the name of another article, whoa. If it consists wholly or in part of diseased, decomposed, yeah, we get that. If it is colored, coated, polished, powdered, whereby damage or inferiority or is concealed, fine. Or if any means is made to appear better or greater than the value than it really is. It's interesting. And here's the juicy part. If it contains any added substance or ingredients which are poisonous or injurious to the health, including butylated hydroxyanisole, propylparaben, FD&C blue number 1, FD&C blue number 2, green number 3, red number 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, and yellow number 6. They go on to add, if it's sold under a coined name, it does not contain some ingredient suggested by such a name or contains blah, blah, blah. There's a couple in there that are pretty massive. And it goes on to add unsafe food additives prohibited. Article 5D West Virginia Feed to Achieve Act, red dye 3, 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue dye 1, blue dye 2, green dye 3. And then it adds, an elementary, middle, or high school may permit the sale of food items that do not comply with this section as part of a school fundraising event if the sale of those items takes place off of and away from school premises, or the sale of those items takes place on the school premises at least 1/2 hour after the end of a school day. That's a ridiculous exemption at the bottom, by the way. Regardless, I'd like to, RFK Jr. should be invited to West Virginia when the governor signs this, and he's gonna.
So this is statewide, right? It's not just statewide schools.
It's a statewide ban on all of these dyes, and that includes tartrazine, which RFK Jr. did a big video about, which is coal tar derivative that they put in food, and it's been associated with certain health injurious effects. Look at this: 32 yay, 2 nay. Is that legit? Yup.
Looks like it, yeah.
Wow, good job, West Virginia.
Let's go.
Governor better sign this. There's going to be a lot of big companies pissed off because they're going to be like, we're going to have to change so much of what we do to accommodate this food.
Do you guys assume that this is going to be something that other states are going to take up? Do you think that the federal government's going to jump in on this? Do you think?
Yes, I think I'd like to see RFK Jr. start lobbying Congress. It's narrow and it's going to be tough because big companies, you're going to have a big cereal producer, and they're going to lobby the member of Congress who's going to be a Republican because they're going to be in some rural place in Oklahoma, and they're going to be growing corn, and they're going to say, this is going to cost us an insane amount of money to make this change. And that's going to cost jobs. And then when these people are all laid off because you voted on this, we're going to remind them it was you. And so you're going to see some squishy Republicans on this one. But statewide, it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, Republicans, there's a lot of arguments against it that you're going to get from small government conservatives, right? That anytime the government says you can't do this, you can't do that, there are small government conservatives that are like, no, this is bad on principle. Libertarians wouldn't like this. I think that I actually saw Michael Malice tweeting about he doesn't think that it's good the government do these kind of things.
What, banning dyes?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't remember his exact.
It's wrong.
I don't remember his exact
Michael.
rationale. Well, I think the reason was because the government shouldn't be involved in this kind of stuff. The government,
The corporations aren't entitled to the same freedoms that
I am
individuals
not
are.
going to argue Michael Malice's position.
You've done it. Michael Labonte, you are wrong.
My point only being that there are going to be people that are going to make those arguments. I do think that it's good to say, look, these type of substances, you shouldn't be using them in foods. Mm-hmm. The things that Trump laid out in the speech last night, the instances of child cancer, the instances of obesity, how many? I mean, I think it's 75% of America is overweight, with 40 being morbidly overweight. That's unacceptable. There's no reason for our country to be like that. And I do think that it has something to do with a sedentary lifestyle, yes, but I also think that it's the food we eat and the things that are put into the food. I think that we should get rid of corn subsidies and stop having everything be made with so much sugar. But
Agreed. I do think it's the internet. I think the principal reason why Americans are so fat is the internet. 40.3% of adults are obese.
That's disturbing right there.
Fatties.
We're late to the game on this, though. My buddy from England came over here and we went to the gas station. He started looking at the different candies and reading the different ingredients. He's like, we don't have this over in England.
Yeah.
We're
It's a
late to the
standard of
game.
living thing. Like, I think most people feel it's about time that we have the same standard of living and standard of health that European countries have.
and look,
I don't know why that's common sense.
the
to
candies.
EU countries.
The candies in the UK, they're great. Chocolate over there is awesome.
Oh.
Like it's actually better. For some reason, the chocolate in the UK is better than the US.
Oh, and they have the one that girls aren't allowed to have. The Yorkie bar.
Oh,
Not for girls.
What?
yeah.
You don't know about this? You can't have it
Why?
because it's not for girls.
Is there a black market for these?
Nope. If you walk in and try and buy the Yorkie bar, they will tell you it is not for girls. I'm kidding, by the way. It actually exists. And it's like a famous like marketing thing that they did. There you go. Yorkie. It's not for girls.
I love it.
And there's a girl, a woman, and there's a red circle with a line through it. What is that thing called? I've never known what that was called. A cross out or something?
I don't know,
I just say a circle with a line through it. You know what it is.
but
It's and they underline not. You were saying with the chocolate, Phil.
yeah. So the food in Europe is great. There's multiple places. It's not like you'll notice a difference, right? But it's not like things are worse. Honestly, a lot of times you go to fast food in Europe and it's actually better, like the way that it's prepared. And I think that has to do with the actual people that are making it. But like in the UK, McDonald's is like McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken is Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's great. So it's not like it's impossible to make the things that we're used to without these chemicals and without these dyes and stuff like that. It's perfectly possible. And I think that, it's not a bad thing for the government to say, all right, look, we're going to get rid of these things. And at the very least, see what happens.
So I will add the bill will go into effect January 1st, 2027, which I think it makes sense. Could you imagine if they banned it literally right now and like every store had to just dump all of these products? But this is going to be nuts because all the Food Lions and what do we have in West Virginia? We have Food Line and Weiss.
Weiss. We have
Weiss.
Martin's.
Martin's.
I hear that they're doing this might not be in West Virginia, though. It might be down in Winchester. I hear there's a Publix coming, which I really hope.
Well, in West Virginia, at least, all of these supermarkets are now, their managers, their regional managers are probably saying, okay, we can't carry any of these products starting in 2027, so we need to start weaning off of them. They're going to start going to the manufacturers and saying, heads up, come January 1st, 2027, we won't be selling your products. You need to get us alternatives. And it could be crazy. One of the things this might do, and this is crazy, West Virginia might see the emergence of state independent food producers. So that is non-national chains. You might be in Maryland. Who knows? You go to Maryland and they have Pop-Tarts on the shelf in a gas station. You cross the river and they have Top Parts. Whatever.
I think if this gets picked up by other states, what you're going to start seeing is grocery tourism.
Yes.
Like people are going to travel to neighboring states that they know regulate food dyes and seed oils, pay a premium for those foods because that matters to them.
Based. People who live in the tri-state area, which is Virginia and Maryland, I guarantee you the hippy-dippy Loudoun County people are going to be like, we drive into West Virginia because they don't have Kellogg's, they have Bell Rugs. And those fruity groups don't have weird dyes in them. And you're going to see like weird new products, and there's going to be a cereal called Slaps, and it's going to have like a toad who's like, puffed rice is good. Then there's going to be like Lucky Yarn, and it's going to be a British guy with a bunch of little shapes. Like
they should just donate all of the obsolete Pop-Tarts to me. I will take them happily once this goes into effect.
the illegal Pop-Tarts.
The illegal Pop-Tarts are mine. I call dibs.
I call the brown sugar cinnamon one.
As annoying as the health nut
the one.
stuff is, like I feel like the health nuts are the new Jesus freaks. Like they're just kind of, I don't know. I don't like how the shift for
Says the devout Catholic.
crunchyism. No, but like they're becoming like Ned Flanders about health food. Like that's what I mean. And this like shift where crunchyism is now a symbol of being right wing instead of left wing. I noticed the change, and it's a little bit. They can get a little bit annoying, and they can get a little bit preachy about it. But aside from that, it is a status symbol to get health food nowadays. It's also, with the popularity of something like Erewhon, which is known for $70 smoothies in LA, they also sell just normal groceries at an extremely premium price. And it's seen as a status symbol to eat healthy these days. And that's kind of a sad thing. I want to know what you guys think of the EBT idea, banning the purchase of artificial foods with EBT cards.
I'll say real quick, though, a quick tip for anybody. If you want to find celebrities, stand in front of Erewhon. And like, good luck spelling it. I don't even know how to spell Erewhon. I've been there. It's crazy. But like, you stand outside and like every 10 minutes a celebrity is walking in and out.
Yeah.
I saw Jake Gyllenhaal there. And he did that. He did one of those things to me. Said like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, when
I was like, oh.
He's going to get in trouble because he said that.
Oh, but this was 15 years ago.
Okay, I thought you meant recently.
I was like, Jake Gyllenhaal pointed at me. And Tobey Maguire pointed at me once, too. That was cool. I was in front of a coffee shop. I was canvassing. And I was like, hey, sir. And he's like, not today, buddy. And I was like, yes! Spider-Man! That's great. I'm excited for if I want Tobey Maguire in all the Spider-Man movies from now on. Him and Tom Holland, they can be friends.
Oh, he was the best by far.
Anyway, EBT, no artificial foods, based.
Well, some people were saying you're taking away poor people's freedom
Good.
to have sweet treats.
I don't.
Yo, I lived in Seattle, and all of the people, like the government there, hands out cash to anybody who asks. And so when I first moved to Seattle, I'll call it a long story, but my first work plan didn't work out. And I had something lined up before getting there. And so I was broke and I was looking for jobs. And someone said, you should go to the Health and Human Services and tell them, and they'll give you a food card. And I was like, nah, like, that's not what I do. I'm not about that. And they said, bro, have you been paying taxes? And I was like, yes. And like, that's your money. Use it now. Like, you need it, right? And I'm like, sure. And I was like, okay, like, just go and see what they say. And I told them, I just moved here. I had a job lined up. It fell through. I'm currently looking for work. And they handed it right to me, like on the spot. They were like, here you go. I don't know if they actually literally handed, I think it came in the mail. and they said something, you get like $114 a month, and you can only buy cold things. And I was like, sure. So I went and bought groceries with it. The other people that I knew, what do you think they bought? They were buying garbage, candy bars, ice cream, just whatever nonsense. The reality was, though, that's not the worst of it. They buy a candy bar, I'm not going to cry, right? They were selling it. They would stand outside of grocery stores, and they would say, hey, what are you buying? And they'd be like, I'm just picking up like milk, bread, and eggs. I'll buy it for you if you give me $15. And so it's like $25 for the groceries. They buy it on the EBT and get handed $15 cash. Super illegal. That's what they were all doing. The whole thing is super corrupt. And I think they got to be way more strict about how they do this stuff. I ended up getting a job at a Pete's Coffee and Tea within only like a month or so after that. So I didn't end up needing it. And then I served tea and coffee to people. It was fun.
People with enough time to run an EBT scam outside of the grocery store should probably do what you did and just get a job.
I don't understand like not wanting to have a job.
Time on your hands to just stand out there heckling people.
I wanted to do it. Like
It's crazy.
you know, look, there are people who don't want jobs, and that's crazy to me. That's foreign to me. Like if I'm not doing something, I'm like listless and guilty.
There's
That
a
just
large
means you're human.
faction in America that doesn't want to.
That's
lot
a
of people who
human
aren't.
quality, I thought.
Well, let's jump to. If you want to hit one more
Well,
point.
I think that it should be obvious to get that people that are on EBT shouldn't be getting junk food. I feel like that's obvious.
I guess the issue was that they were like, what constitutes junk food? Are you going to regulate the percentage of carbohydrates in an item? You know what I mean? Like, is dark chocolate junk food? It's got antioxidants and is actually considered to be a superfood. So maybe we allow dark chocolate, but not milk chocolate. And now,
Then you get into the weeds.
so they basically said no prepared food. Because then you're going to McDonald's and Burger King. Just groceries. But then you go to a grocery store and you're buying, candy bars. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.